Welcome back to Nonstop Recap. Today we'll be going over the 2002 erotic thriller Killing Me Softly. At the start, we see a handful of climbers scaling a snowy mountainside, but a freak accident sends them plummeting to their deaths. We cut to a London flat where we meet a happy couple named Alice and Jake. They wake up and get ready before heading to the tube station where they part ways for work. At a crosswalk, Alex makes eye contact with an attractive male named Adam Tallis. As she arrives at work, Alice sees Adam entering a nearby bookstore. Alice is distracted during an early work meeting and ultimately decides to leave the office. She heads to the bookstore where she spies Adam through the window. He sees her and the two make eyes at each other through the glass. Adam hails them a cab and the two ride in awkward silence. At a stoplight, she appears to consider getting out but changes her mind. They arrive at Adam's flat where, almost immediately upon entering, Adam grabs her from behind and they begin to kiss. He undresses her and the two have wild relations on the floor while Adam's cat watches. Afterward, he tells her to come back anytime. That night, Alice makes love to Jake, but she appears bored and disinterested. When she goes by the bookstore on the way to work the next morning, she sees Adam's face on a book about mountain climbing and goes inside to check it out. She learns that Adam saved 6 climbers with no oxygen and is considered a hero. Alice goes back to Adam's flat where they again hook up passionately. She tells him that she bought the book and he reveals that he lost more people than he saved, including his old love, Francois. He then demonstrates high-altitude oxygen loss by torturing a goldfish, after which Alice tells him about Jake and decides to leave. Later at the apartment, Alice gets a call from Jake. He ends the call saying, "I love you," and her guilt is enough that she has to sit down. That night, while Jake watches soccer, Alice changes the water in a flower vase and cringes at the sight of her own face in the mirror. She decides to leave Jake and tells him that she met someone, causing him to angrily break the vase. Alice hurries over to Adam's, but a woman named Deborah answers the door. Alice is relieved to learn that Deborah is Adam's sister. This is her flat, and he's merely been staying there. Deborah reveals that Francoise was her best friend, and she feels just as guilty for her death. She also reveals that Adam has fallen for Alice, and she gives Alice his real address. Alice arrives at Adam's flat and buzzes to get in, but nobody answers. As she waits outside, it begins to snow. Adam finally returns home, and they share a warm embrace before things quickly start to get hot and heavy. Alice wakes up to find Adam downstairs with a reporter named Joanna. As Alice looks for a clean shirt to put on, she comes across a locked door, soon after finding the key in a drawer. She finds a shirt on a nearby chair when the phone rings and Alice answers. The other line is mysteriously silent. That day at work, Alice seems more fulfilled than usual. She later goes wall climbing where she sees Deborah. As Deborah tries to help Alice get her harness on, Adam descends the wall and dismissively takes over for her. He then introduces Alice to his friend Klaus, the author of the book on Adam. Alice watches Deborah climb and says it looks hard, but Adam says it's all in the mind. Alice's mind, however, is simply filled with the memory of their first lovemaking session. Alice meets her friend Sylvie at a bar, and Sylvie accuses Alice of ruining both Jake's life and her own for the sake of a meaningless fling. Alice defends her love for Adam and convinces Sylvie to meet him. On the way, Alice is mugged at knife point. Adam happens to be nearby and chases down the mugger before excessively beating him to a pulp. He promises to always protect Alice and asks her to marry him just as the cops show up to question him. Sylvie watches, unnerved. Sometime later, Alice receives an anonymous letter suggesting that Adam can't be trusted. She shows it to Adam and reveals that she received another strange phone call. He tries to laugh it off and they drive through a scenic English countryside to his family's church. Wearing an appropriately off-white dress, Alice marries Adam in front of a few witnesses. He then takes her to a beautiful cliffside where he tells Alice that she's his other half. Back at the church, Adam has Alice remove her clothing and take a picture of her in front of a stone angel. As she gets dressed, he fires off a flare gun. He reloads the gun and leaves it in a nearby supply box as they embark on a honeymoon hike through the woods. Adam runs off ahead of Alice, saying that he's going to make her strong. She follows the trail well into the night until she finds an area full of multicolored glow sticks. Spotting a nearby cabin, she enters and finds Adam waiting. He gives her a long silk ribbon, which he proceeds to wrap around her throat before attaching it to a climbing anchor. He then uses the ribbon to choke her as they make passionate fireside love. Upon returning to London, Alice finds Joanna's piece on Adam at the newsstand. She returns home to find another letter saying the marriage was a mistake. Alice tries to call Jake about it, but Sylvie answers. While a distraught Jake listens nearby, she explains that the two are now involved and living together. Adam calls out to Alice from the shower, and she disposes of the note before he can see it. Alice accompanies Adam to a well-dressed event full of mountaineers. When she spots a picture of Adam and Francoise, she retreats to the bathroom with a headache. Deborah comes in to comfort her and gives her a necklace with a unique design. At work, Alice takes point on a project meeting when she's interrupted by a call from Joanna. Somebody responded to her article with a strange note, which she faxes to Alice. The first page accuses Adam of rape, but the fax runs out of paper before the rest can come through. As she hastily refills the machine, her boss names her the new project head before her colleagues sneer and walk out. The rest of the note comes through, naming Adam's victim as Michelle Stowe. Alice heads out while Adam calls her office and learns that she's left. At Michelle's place, Alice pretends to be Joanna and learns that Michelle was attacked by Adam at a party he attended with Deborah. But when Michelle suggests that an article on the assault could make a lot of money, Alice starts to doubt the truth of her story. Joanna later chastises Alice for using her name and warns her that curiosity gets people killed. Outside, a burning cigarette implies that their conversation has been watched. Alice relaxes in the tub at home and reflects on how little she knows about Adam when the locked door catches her eye. She retrieves the key and opens the door, finding letters from a woman named Adele Blanchard. She learns that Adele once had an affair with Adam but ended it to save her marriage. Adam comes home and slowly stalks into the room like a serial killer, giving Alice just enough time to throw everything back in the closet. She hugs him and tells him that she's been thinking about him. Over breakfast the next morning, Adam mentions calling Alice's office. He questions her about her whereabouts and also about who gave her the necklace. She tries to reassure him but tells Adam about the note from Michelle. He denies the allegations and the conversation is interrupted when Klaus shows up to retrieve him for a talk show appearance. After they leave, Michelle checks the drawer but cannot find the key. She struggles with the door lock when she hears someone at the front door and opens it to find a yellow envelope. Inside is another mysterious note and a long silk ribbon matching the one she and Adam used on their wedding night. Alice immediately phones the directory for Adele's information. She takes the train to Adele's place, and Adele's mother answers. Alice again uses Joanna's name and learns that Adele's been missing for 8 months. Mrs. Blanchard shows Alice a photo album of Adele, which includes a picture of Adam. Adele was apparently a fellow climber, but planned on quitting to focus on her marriage. Soon after, she disappeared. Alice then finds a candid photo of Adele with a stone angel in the background. When Adele's mother informs Alice that Adam is called and is on his way, Alice takes the photo of Adele and runs to the train station before he can arrive. She comes home to an empty house and compares Adele's photo to the one Adam took on their wedding day. They match perfectly. Alice goes downstairs to make tea but is startled to find that Adam has been lurking in a darkened corner. He forces her to kiss him and then ties her to the kitchen table, screaming at her and accusing her of cheating. When she mentions Adele's letter, he retrieves a box of notes and claims he has nothing to hide. He then suggests that she's sneaking around because she likes to be punished. She asks to be untied, but he says her situation is her own fault. When she says she has to use the bathroom, he finally unties her. She climbs out the bathroom window, but Adam catches her and chases her down the street. She manages to hide just as he runs past. It's revealed that Alice has been telling this story to a detective. She wants him to reopen Adele's case as a murder investigation, but she has no evidence. The detective reveals that Adam is being questioned in the next room, but that he entered the station claiming concern for Alice. She watches Adam cry into her coat, and he appears somewhat convincing. The detective does believe Adam might be violent, but he only has enough to hold him for a few hours unless Alice finds proof. She goes over to Deborah's, where she learns that Francoise had been seeing somebody else before she died. dead. Deborah shows Alice a titanium climbing anchor that Francoise was using on the trip and suggests that Adam could have switched it out for a weaker look-alike. Alice then shows Deborah the photos and says that Adele might be buried at the church. As they drive to the church, Deborah reveals that she's been the one sending mysterious letters. Released from questioning, Adam goes over to Deborah's and sees the anchor along with the photos. He rushes to his car and gives pursuit. Alice and Deborah arrive at the church and dig up the site where the photos were taken, finding Adele's body in a shallow grave. Alice then finds that Adele was wearing a necklace just like the one Deborah gave her. Deborah reveals that she made love to Adam when he was only 15 and that she killed Adele and Francoise out of jealousy. They fight, but Alice gets away when Adam shows up to save her. Alice comes back in time to see Deborah about to kill Adam, but she shoots Deborah with the flare gun and kills her. In the morning, the body is carried away and Adam leaves Alice for not trusting him. 2 years pass before she sees Adam again. They share a soulful look as they pass each other, but ultimately go their separate ways. Thanks for watching Nonstop Recap.